push, keep pushing, push, keep pushing.
Good evening. I am your host, Maham the Mentor, man. And today, man, we're going to be talking about the NBA. So, of course, you know what I'm saying? I like to always correlate this to the black culture, man. The NBA has been taking care of the black community for a long time through economics, that they pay their players. But for whatever reason, man, we've been seeing a lot of the whitewashing in the NBA, man. But today, man, I wanted to talk about who I think my top best player is of all time. But we're going to see who's the top 10 right now. Starting at number 11, where they're going to talk about Shaquille O'Neal. Man, but I like to always, you know, give people, see who's what's what. But this is Shaquille O'Neal, man. Check him out.
He said, Shaq is as close to being in the top 10 as you can be without making it, and he won 4 championship rings and 3 finals MVPs. He should have been the first unanimous MVP winner in 2000, but one smooth-brained voter went with Allen Iverson instead. Number 10, Hakeem Olajuwon. He has the fewest championship rings of any player in my top 12, but I don't believe that's any fault of his own, as the dream was devoid of superstar talent held throughout the prime years of his career. Sure, he had routes.
I don't see how you would put Kareem in front of Shaq. I think Shaq should clearly be in front of Kareem. Hakeem Olajuwon. That's crazy.
Sampson very early on, but it didn't take long for Sampson's back issues to ruin that. Of players who won back-to-back championships, Hakeem Olajuwon was the only player to do it while not having a single All-Star teammate. He was a beast in many aspects, as he not only has a quadruple-double on his resume, but he nearly had 2 in the same month. He's one of the top 3 greatest offensive players in league history, and he was often among the league leaders in scoring as well, which very few players can claim. The dream was so good that he was selected before Michael Jordan, yet no one in Houston even regrets it. Number 9, Tim Duncan. The big fun.
Don't nobody talk about that when they talk about Michael Jordan. I guess that's why you had to put Akeem in here, because he did get drafted before y'all go Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan wasn't even the best player then. I'm just saying this.
Fundamental was the model of consistency in the game of basketball, as he earned himself 15 All-Defense teams and won 5 NBA championships over the span of 16 years. His 2003 postseason was one of the most dominant playoff stretches, as he historically crushed the New Jersey Nets, nearly getting the only quadruple-double in NBA playoff history. Thanks to a talented supporting cast, Duncan was able to compete for championships long after his prime date.
I never liked Tim Duncan, but he definitely is a worthy player. He's worthy to be up there. I hate saying it, man.
Were behind him, which is why I don't have him ranked as high as some others might. Still, Duncan certainly deserves a spot in the top 10. Number 8, Kobe Bryant. I moved the Mamba up a spot since my last list, as I figured I had him a bit too low. In terms of his peak, I believe Kobe has a solid argument for a spot in the top 5. But when you look at his career as a whole, it's not quite as glamorous. Kobe took a while to get going in his career, as his first few seasons saw limited production in limited minutes, and his final few seasons in the NBA were straight up ugly, as he was rotating between major injuries while shooting 35% from the field on nearly 20 shots per game. Still, how great were those glory days? At his peak, Kobe was scoring 35 points per game while being first-team all-defense, which is something only Michael Jordan has basically done as well. Kobe won 5 championships, and his last one doesn't feel appreciated enough, as Kobe led his Lakers to defeat the stacked Boston Celtics while he had a broken index finger on his shooting hand. What other great has a claim like that? Number 7, Magic Johnson. Almost the entirety of his career, Magic was competing for NBA championships. In my opinion, he has the best single playoff performance of all time, as he dropped this stat line in Game 6 of the 1980 Finals, which he did as a rookie, while filling in for an injured Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at center. Magic was the embodiment of playing the game the right way, as he specialized in making his teammates better. For his career, he won 5 NBA championships, he was the Finals MVP 3 times, and he won 3 league MVPs. Magic also made 9 trips to the NBA Finals before his first retirement, and for perspective, Magic only played 12 seasons before that first retirement. Some have him ranked even higher than I do, but for me personally, a lack of solid defensive prowess is what limits his ranking. Number 6.
Come on, man.
I know
Stop
it's
it,
a hot
man.
take to have him ranked
Stop it,
but the thing about Larry
man.
Bird is that he was competing in the much tougher Eastern Conference.
Say, man, they got to stop this bullshit right here, man. Come on, man. I'm going to let him finish talking, man.
as the East was a bloodbath in the 1980s. Along with that, I just believe Bird was the more impressive player from an individual
I just
perspective,
believe Bird
as
is
he
a
had no
bird.
holes in his game. He was
He
a
has
ruthless
no
scorer, he
holes.
was an elite
So white.
rebounder, he was an
He's white,
all-time
white,
great passer, and
white,
he was an
white,
extremely underrated defensive player, which is a
white,
topic
white.
I've made entire videos about. At one point, Bird had 50, 40, 90 percentages while averaging close to 30 points per game over a 5-year stretch, which quite simply is one of the greatest individual achievements of all time. If it wasn't for his back injuries cutting his career very short, then Bird may have been able to build a career
Wasn't for him being white, white, white.
strong enough to consider him in the top three. Number 5, Bill Russell. Let me just say this plainly. If Bill Russell was an efficient league leading scorer, he'd easily be my choice as the greatest player of all time. It's kind of astonishing that I'm putting him this.
Well, if you go to the statistics, all the MJ fans love to say and throw up in the LeBron James, King James faces is that man he got rings, but Bill Russell rings don't count. His rings don't count. So, but if rings count, that's your man right there.
High on my list, considering how he was severely limited offensively. Now, with that being said, Russell always claimed that he did the things that actually won basketball games, and who am I to argue with him? In his career, Russell won 11 championship rings, including a ridiculous 8 straight. Along with that, he was 10-0 in series-deciding 7th games, and he always played well in those instances. To this day, many people believe he's the GOAT defensive player, and if the Defensive Player of the Year award had existed, he would have been collecting them like Infinity Stones. At the end of the day, it's all about winning, and anyone could call him their GOAT, and they'd get no arguments from me. Number 4, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. When it comes to the all-time statistics, Kareem has got an argument as good as anyone's for the top spot. What's crazy is that Kareem is second all-time in scoring, and if blocks had been calculated in his first few seasons in the league, he would probably be the all-time leader in block shots as well. If players like Kevin Durant get a boost for being difficult to guard, then so should Kareem, who had the most indefensible.
So who's gonna put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Who's better, Kobe, Kareem Abdul, or Magic? So they got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar overall. Okay, just trying to respect somebody's opinion.
Shot ever, his patented skyhook. The only thing drawing him back is the fact that he was not the best player in over half of his championship teams. Regardless, he earned 15 All NBA teams, 11 All Defense teams, and a whopping 6 league MVPs. So he's certainly worthy of being at least in the 4th spot. Number 3, Wilt Chamberlain. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, and that's fine because I'm not pumping the brakes on this so-called crazy train. To me, Wilt Chamberlain is far greater than people usually give him credit for. Stop and think about what an average of 50 points and 25 rebounds looks like on a nightly basis. I don't think people actually take the time to fathom that. Wilt broke so many records throughout his career that they just started calling him the record hook. People try to belittle his accomplishments and make sense of it by saying that he played against weaker competition. But when you consider that Wilt played against Phil Russell, Walt Bellamy,
Not only did Wilt Chamberlain's play against lesser people, but Wilt Chamberlain's also changed the whole game of basketball. A lot of y'all young people don't know. Wilt Chamberlain is the reason why you have 3 seconds in a lane, over the back, goaltending. You can't cross the free throw line when you shoot the ball. All those rules were created behind Wilt Chamberlain. Before him, it was those rules weren't even here. They created that rule to stop him. History. Will Chamberlain changed basketball because of him. That's why we play basketball the way it is today.
and they
Rules.
tournament each around 12 to 16 times per season, then you start to realize just how impressive his accomplishments were. Honestly, I could elaborate on Wilt's ranking endlessly, but if you
Nobody talks about that. When they talk about Will Chamberlain, they always talk about the 50.3 points he scored a season and the 100 point a game, but they don't tell you all the rules that they created, that the NBA created to stop him from playing. He's supposed to be number one, but
seen any of my Wilt videos before, you get it. Number 2, LeBron James.
come
A couple
on.
years ago, I had LeBron fans all up in their feelings when I ranked him 4th on my list. Honestly, that was less about a negative view of LeBron and more about my positive views of Kareem and Wilt. At this point, though, LeBron has built up such a body of
LeBron James is number one. I don't even know how they got him number two, but let's see what they saying.
Work that he has to be at least in the second spot. He's earned an absurd 19 All Star selections. He's won 4 NBA championships, 4 Finals MVPs, and 4 League MVPs. He's now the NBA's all time leading scorer, the all time leading playoff scorer, and he's up to the 4th spot on the NBA's all time assists list.
Man just hit 40,000 points too.
Honestly, there is an argument for LeBron to take the #1 spot, and I truly believe that. But that argument would have to focus on the complete body of work of his NBA career so far, which is only becoming more impressive the longer he plays. For me, peak performance is what's most important though, which takes us to our #1 spot. Number 1, Michael Jordan. 6 championships in 8 years. He earned 9 first team all defense selections, and he won the scoring title in all of those seasons as well. Not only was Jordan 6-0 in the NBA Finals, but he was constantly breaking records in those finals. A lot of Gen Z LeBron fans want to discredit Jordan's competition and try to belittle his dominance over the league. But here's the thing. The only reason you're able to belittle Jordan's competition is because MJ dominated the league in the first place. Let's take Karl.
No, we ain't finna do all that. We ain't finna. No, we finna. Time out. Time out. First of all, Michael Jordan went to college. LeBron James didn't. LeBron James was NBA ready when he was in the 10th grade. Michael Jordan was playing JV. These are two different players. LeBron James had a $50 million contract before he even signed an NBA contract. LeBron James went #1 overall to the Cleveland Cavaliers that was not an NBA playoff team. Michael Jordan was drafted number 3 after coming out of college. Michael Jordan, let me say that for the people in the back. Michael Jordan was drafted number 3 after 2 other people got drafted before Michael Jordan. For all the people who keep talking about, and when I'm talking about maintaining what you got, see, because a lot of y'all don't want to add this part into LeBron James' credibility. LeBron James is the only player who had that type of expectations that he had on him. Not Michael Jordan, not Kobe, none of these people. I'm so glad Kobe way at the back. You see that? They got Will Chamberlain up in there. He really need to be. LeBron need to be #1 for sure, hands down #1. Will Chamberlain can be #2, and Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan could be #3 or 4, but they ain't got no business being #1. Michael Jordan is great, but he is no LeBron James, and don't you forget it.
Malone, for example. If Michael Jordan never existed, Karl Malone would have had 3 League MVPs instead of 2. He would have had 5 scoring titles instead of 0, and he would have won 2 championships.
You can't even say anything about a league MVP anymore, man, because you got to realize, man. But Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James came into the NBA in 2003. In 2004, 5, and 6, Steve Nash won the MVP twice, and Derek Nowinski won it once in 2000. So in 2000, in 04 and 05, Steve Nash won the MVP of the league. With Kobe in the league and Shaq in the league and LeBron James in the league, but Steve Nash is winning the league MVP. And 06, Kobe, LeBron James, Shaq, Dwayne Wade, all these people playing in it, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. Nowinski wins the most valuablest player in the league. Come on, man. So who cares about the league MVP? I mean, that don't really mean nothing no more. They give it to anybody.
Instead of 0. Without MJ as an obstacle, Malone is rivaling Tim Duncan for the title of the greatest power forward of all time. But because Jordan existed, he's treated like an afterthought, as his legacy is completely different. That's the effect MJ had on the league, as he kept Malone, Stockton, Barkley, Ewing, Kemp, Penny, Miller, and many others.
All right, man, but I gotta stop this here, man. So as you can tell, man, I am a supporter and admirer of LeBron James. He is the truth of basketball. He has great character on and off the court. He is the one. Michael Jordan is. I cannot compare Michael Jordan. I watched Michael Jordan my whole life. I watched LeBron James. I watched Kobe Bryant. watch a lot of them, man. I studied the NBA history. I looked at the old players, looked at the new players, and there ain't nobody like LeBron James. Hands down, salute to LeBron James. And I'm shame on y'all. It's an old proverb says a wise person changes his opinion in the presence of facts. I hope y'all keep watching LeBron James, man, because if you knew better, you could do better. The more you know, the less you can be manipulated by anybody, even me. You know what I'm saying? Because have you seen the new NBA list? The top three NBA players in the league right now, top three, two of them white. Can't believe this, boy. If you knew better, you can do better. Mayhem the Mentor, over and out.